Live from Schellenberger Field on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. It's Championship Saturday and a Battle of the Burg. You're watching the ODAC Men's Soccer Championship game on LHSN. TJ Wingert alongside assistant coach Matt Newton of the Lynchburg women's soccer team, and it's going to be a fun one on hand tonight. A packed house here just above Dr. Jack Tom's track. And Coach Newton, we're going to show some of the stats coming into the contest, and this is a battle of the offenses, right?
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this, right? You've got the hometown rivals, this Hill City rivalry. You've got a team coming off beating the #1 team in the nation in a huge upset. And you got Lynchburg with all this firepower in their attack. So it's going to be super fun to see what comes out here tonight.
Randolph second in the ODAC in goals. Lynchburg right behind them at third. And there's a ton of talent on the pitch. We'll give you some players to watch. For Randolph, the conversation has to start with Evan Blow, reigning Conference Player of the Year, led the ODAC in goals with 18, including the game winner against WNL.
Yeah, and you see a team in Randolph that likes to pressure the ball a lot. So you're going to see this guy running around all over the place looking to find the ball and looking to get into the attack quickly.
And on the other side, Luke Mega comes into this contest scorching hot. First career hat trick in the quarterfinals against Shenandoah. Adds on one more via the penalty kick in the semis. And all told, 12 goals this year, third most in the ODAC, and he does it in so many different ways.
Yeah, and he's a guy that when he has the ball in the final third, you just almost expect a goal, right? That's how dangerous he is.
And the two players tasked with trying to slow down Blow and Mega. For Randolph, it's Zach Ayler, senior from Virginia, faced 17 shots against WNL, second most in the game this year, 19 against Hampton-Sydney in the regular season, but only allowed more than 2 goals once this season, and that feels like it might be the threshold for today.
Yep.
And Justin Ennis on the other side, senior, making his 10th start on the year, 4th in the conference in goal against average at .89, and he has only faced, get this, 5 shots on goal, I beg your pardon, over the last 6 games. That defense has done a good job keeping him clean.
They have, and that's what you want. You want your goalie to honestly not touch the ball if you can.
And, I mean, that's going to be the battle, I think, where it comes down to. You look at the offenses for both teams. Lynchburg is down Brennan Lagana today, but still, Luke Mega, Kenny Robles with Trevor Miller, who's been a really impressive freshman right in between them. And then on the other side for Randolph, Evan Blow, we talked about. Noah Carney, Tucker Leveroni, he scored the first goal against WNL. There's plenty of offense to spare. It comes down to whose back line can make enough stops.
Yeah, it is, and it's cool to see the freshman getting the start up top. You know, that big, tall point striker. They're looking to hit his feet and play off of him. See what he can do today.
It's going to be a fun one. These two teams did meet in the regular season out at Randolph, about 10 minutes away from the campus University of Lynchburg. It was a 2-1 win for the Hornets over the Wildcats. And another interesting note for that contest, one of just 3 matches this year where Evan Blow did not find the back of the net. Lynchburg looking to do the same, and we are underway. And, of course, winner of this contest gets the automatic qualifier for the NCAA tournament, which will get underway next Friday. Headed forward by Bailey Kearns. Two teams exchange possession early on. Flicked ahead. Here is Evan Blow. Laying it back for Brandon John. One more time ahead for Blow. Seth Dale in front of him. They'll say last touch by a Hornet. Throw-in will come from Kyle May, senior from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, and it looks like right off the bat you've got Randolph in a 4-2-3-1, so they're playing this double pivot right here in the middle, looking to play a little bit more of a ticky-tack possession type game, as well as clog that spot up.
Well, and playing a possession style has been a strength of Lynchburg all year long, and it feels like this snowball effect. Once Lynchburg starts to get some momentum and some shots off, it feels impossible to get them out of the attacking third, so a battle of strength on strength today.
Yep.
Shalita looking ahead for Trevor Miller, taking over that spot for Brennan Lagana. And it's Justin Ennis stepping up and booting it away.
Hard to see in that sun. It's right there in your face when the ball's coming at you from that angle.
And we're talking about the back line and which side can make enough plays. That's been one of the strongest areas. We talked about just 5 shots on goal out over the last 6 games. And a ton of credit has to go to Seth Dale with it now. And beside him, Griffin Phillips, Nick Foley, grad student, and a staple of the defensive side for Lynchburg. And, of course, reigning first-team all-conference member Joey Daly, a left-back role.
And that's what you're hoping for again today. You know, limit the shots at all possible.
And on the other side, the center backs for Randolph, Horty and Dembo and Wade Hall, sophomore and senior respectively. They will certainly have their workload cut out for them today. Two teams headed back and forth.
One of these guys got to get on the ground.
It'll roll all the way out to Ben Grease. Knocked off the ball. They're going to award possession to Lynchburg. And it's a hometown battle, therefore strong fan attendance for both these sides. And you just heard the Wildcats faithful voicing their displeasure with that last call.
Yeah.
Randolph comes away with possession regardless.
Yeah, and that was one of those 50-50, like who touched it last, whoever picks up the ball first gets the throw.
And you're already hearing the fans play a factor 3 minutes in the contest. Can't wait to see where we are in the 88th, 89th, and 90th minute.
Yeah, it seemed like when the ball got into our defensive third here, they were automatically just, even though no one really touched it.
The all-time season series, 16-2-3 Lynchburg holds the advantage over Randolph. And the last time Lynchburg lost to the Wildcats 10 years ago in the ODAC championship game when Randolph won their one and only program tournament title.
It's crazy to see that play out again. I mean, here we are.
So Wildcats fans, you're hoping history repeats itself. Lynchburg looking to write a different script. Rolled all the way back to Hall. He'll feed Ayler. One time that Ayler had allowed more than 2 goals this season. It was in a 3-goal allowed effort against Bridgewater. But he has certainly benefited from a high-powered offense. And you talk about both these teams trying to establish possession. And it makes it a whole lot easier for the keeper between the posts in turn. Bringing it across, Tucker Leveroni. Ahead for May. Lays it off. This is Noah Carney. He had a goal against WNL. Some contact. No foul.
Nothing there. That was all ball. Just looked worse than it was.
And Noah Carney, the older of the two Carneys in the starting lineup. Isaac starting in the midfield, sophomore. Sent towards Ennis. He gets a foot on it. And blasts towards midfield.
He must have been concerned about that being a pass because I'm not sure why he didn't just pick it up. So getting a touch and just clearing it.
Torrey Brown throws in, started every game but one this season. That was against Guilford in the middle of October.
Got a
And
corner.
Now we'll see our first corner. The near side post, it's Isaac Carney. We just talked about him, sophomore from Charleston, West Virginia. Randolph starting to load up players inside the 6-yard box. Slow roller from Carney. The other Carney takes the shot, and it was deflected off the leg of Trevor Miller. It's going to roll across the near sideline and stay with Randolph.
So we're in that 5-6 minute window where things will start to settle in for one of these two teams. It's that first bit where you're just kind of weathering the storm, and we saw about 50 headers, it seemed like, with the ball just in the air.
It took the expression of feeling the other team out to a whole new level.
Yeah.
An insane volley to get us underway. Lynchburg enters as a 2 seed. Randolph is the 4 seed, and you mentioned it, coming off the upset win, handing Washington the lead, their only loss of the season. Entered that semifinal as the #1 team in the country, and it was back and forth all the way through. Ultimately, penalty kick, overtime, game winner from Evan Blow, his 18th score of the year. It was the difference. And then on the other side, Lynchburg coming off consecutive shutouts in their playoff run so far. 4-0 victory against Shenandoah, and then 3-0 over Virginia Wesleyan.
Bit of a foul there. He's holding him, so you're going to get called on that anytime, especially when the ball's already by you.
Set piece opportunity. Daly over the ball. And you want to keep your eyes on both Nick Foley, number 16, and Bailey Kearns, number 19. Kearns was forced to miss the quarterfinal. Was back in the lineup for the semis. He was all over the pitch. Good clear for Randolph. Goes all the way to Ennis. Wade Hall shows off the nice boot, and the Hornets will reset from the back line.
That was a little too close for the coach and me.
Especially considering you work with the keepers.
Yeah.
Women's soccer program for Lynchburg. One of those plays that'll make you hold your breath. Ayler just in front of Trevor Miller. Sends it to the far side. Daly the first to it. Here's Luke Mega. 4 goals so far this postseason. Overall 12 on the year. Just in front of Isaac Carney. Now popped up into a beautiful Lynchburg afternoon sky. Now it's Mega in front of Ndembo. Tries to center it up. And off the noggin of Wade Hall, and across the end line it goes. Now Lynchburg will have their first corner chance of the day.
And that was about what you could hope for in that scenario when there's so many people behind the ball already.
Kenny Robles has the honors from the far side post. Here's another look at the play. Mega was able to get some space, and Hall, not much he could do there, but sent it across the end line. Robles, high loft, inside the 6-yard box. Wildcats able to get it out of the 18. Nice pass from Dale. Ahead is Robles. He had 2 scores against Virginia Wesleyan in the semis. Sends it to Ayler. The senior waiting. And that'll officially go down as the first shot of the day for Lynchburg. Lynchburg with a win today would give Coach Chris Yeager his 8th ODAC title and is now 19 years at the helm for this Lynchburg program. On the other side, Randolph looking for their 2nd tournament title, the first since 2011. It would be the first under 4th-year head coach Adam Godwin, who has been seemingly everywhere in Lynchburg. Played, then coached over at Liberty, shifted over to the American football program for 5 years as the assistant director of operations and recruiting, then returned to the Liberty soccer programs with the women's team, came here to the University of Lynchburg in 2016 to join Coach Todd Olson and the women's soccer staff for the Hornets, and then went back to Liberty in 2017 before being hired in 2018 by Randolph.
Just telling you before the broadcast, even coached my wife over at Liberty for a little bit when he was assistant there.
And to say that Coach Godwin has coaching experience might be selling him short. He's done just about everything, as I mentioned with the football program. Director of operations and recruiting. He's also done a fair amount of fundraising in his number of ventures throughout the city of Lynchburg. And he's done a good job leading Randolph to where they are now. Regular season record of 14-2-2, 5-2-2 in ODAC play. Shalita gets it away to Daly. Senior had 2 goals, 3 assists this season. Looking ahead for Mega. And Dembo the first to it. The AR waves the flag. Mega was offside.
Looked on to me from our angle, but
we'll let you be the judge at home.
yeah, it's hard to see. I guess they, at the last minute, kind of stepped back, let him go. That kind of series of passes, though, looked like it was going to develop into something.
Mega gets it ahead. Trevor Miller, this is his first collegiate start, and it couldn't have come on a bigger stage. Overall, his 14th game played, has 3 shots on the season. And when it comes to play style, Miller, probably the closest option that Lynchburg had trying to replicate how Brennan Lagana handles that point striker role. And it's a perfect fit, especially considering he stands in between Kenny Robles and Luke Mega, who can do a lot on their own, flashy dribblers, but also great finesse and know how to get it inside the 18 on those crosses.
Yeah,
and feed players like Miller.
You just want him to play that big target role where he can receive it at his feet and dish off of that, play off of that, potentially turn and get guys like those guys out wide through. But it's that classic up, back, and through pass that someone big and strong like that needs to be able to hold it up. And when they're looking at this game becomes this transition game, which it has the potential to become, he'll be crucial in being able to play it in right there and try to play off of that.
And for those who didn't see it, Brendan Lagana had to leave the semifinal matchup against Virginia Wesleyan with 5 minutes or even less to be played against the Marlins. So it was a late but costly injury for Lynchburg. So big role carved out for Trevor Miller today.
Yeah, and he's had a good year too, Lagana.
Oh, Lagana's been very impressive this season. Sophomore from Burlington, North Carolina, but the pass ahead, it's Randolph with the scoring opportunity. Blow tries to center it up. And cleared away by Griffin Phillips, one of those two very impressive center backs for Lynchburg. Kearns looks long, deflected off the body of Kyle May, throwing for the Hornets.
Looks like Blow's limping a little bit here.
Favoring that right ankle. And it's really impressive that this Randolph team fielded not just the conference leader in goals with 18. They had number 2 right behind them, Noah Carney. A lot of times you'll see one player, if they lead the way in scoring, that is the sum of your offense. But this Wildcats team has weapons just about everywhere. Carney with 13 this year. Tucker Leveroni got his 3rd against Washington and Lee. Gavin Leverett, he has a couple. Brandon John scored 4 times. All told, to the sound of 54 goals on the season, second most inside the ODAC. And both these teams, more than 270 shots this year. Lynchburg finished 5th in the ODAC with 271, and Randolph 3rd, 301. Possession goes to Randolph in positive territory.
Must have just came off of him. I was just impressed with that touch, that stayed in for as long as it did.
Brandon John lets it seep through. Picked up by May. Gives back to Torrey Brown, sophomore from Portsmouth, Virginia. Gives to John, now back to Ndembo. Transfer from Mary Baldwin. One of 2 Mary Baldwin transfers. The other is Brandon John. And they're both sophomores, so you can expect a fair amount of chemistry between the two. After deflected off the body of May, Ennis gathers the loose ball. Justin Ennis had 2 saves in the semis against Virginia Wesleyan. Most that he's had in a match since October 6th.
Wow.
Against Randolph,
wow.
or excuse me, Roanoke. There were a couple of games where Kyle Gallagher was in the starting lineup, so that increases the amount of time in between. But we talked about it at the Open. 5 shots on goal against Ennis in the last 6 matches he's played. That is, simply put, not easy to do. Daly right around midfield. Kearns gives back to Carter Averett, first time calling his name today. Foley skies it. Robles underneath it. Back it down, Torrey Brown. Contact from both sides, and eventually a whistle is blown. It's going to go against Randolph. And the fans speak for themselves.
Got your hometown fans here.
In the battle of the Berg.
Yeah.
Dale over. Now we'll see Griffin Phillips take the free kick. Just in front of the Randolph bench. Headed down by Leveroni. Noah Carney in front. Battles with Nick Foley. And as Daly tries to clear, it ricochets off of Foley. Or so it appeared from our vantage point. It's going to be a throw-in for Lynchburg. Evan Blow creates the turnover. Noah Carney trying to find space. Just barely leaves it wide left. And that speaks to how explosive this offense is. It can happen in the snap of a finger.
Yeah, and you're seeing that pressure that they're able to put on a team. And so when you win the ball in the middle of the field like that, and you have 3 players that can go right into the attack, it's dangerous every single time.
This is a Lynchburg team that has been really impressive in regards to how clean their passing is. There, a couple of miscues, and it ultimately gives Randolph a chance. And so far, the best look we've seen from either side. Flicked up by Kern, settled down by Kyle May. Leveroni ahead. Blow receives the pass, gives back to the sophomore from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Back with Blow. Tries to make a move towards the end line. Result of the play is a goal kick for Ennis. Going to talk more about Evan Blow, 2021 ODAC Player of the Year, VA-SID, College Division Player of the Year. It's a long list of accolades for the Charlottesville, Virginia native. And with his stat line this year, it'd almost be a little surprising if he doesn't come away with Player of the Year for the conference again. Foley settles for Lynchburg. Gets it over to Averett. Averett, a part of this stellar junior class. There you see a triangle of them. It was Averett to Dale to Robles, all third-year members of this Hornets program. And the other one you can't not mention, Luke Mega. Sent out a play. Wildcats earn the throw-in. Carney tries to head it forward to Blow. Not quite able to thread the needle.
There's a little, like if the ball gets held right here, there's a little bit of space on that far side if they can hit that other center midfielder, that weak side center midfielder is available. But when it gets stuck here for a little bit, everybody kind of gets into that space, and it's causing a little bit of trouble with some of the passing that I would say Lynchburg likes to do.
And we're through 20 minutes of play in the first half, and while there's only been 2 shots for both teams, that's part of the exciting part, especially in a high-leverage situation like we are today. Winner gets the automatic qualifier for the NCAA tournament. Both teams are trying to see how the other side adjusts to player movements, passing sequences. While both these teams are certainly capable of having the offense explode at any moment, it's been a patient approach to start.
Yeah, it's kind of staying in this middle third, you know.
Throw in the direction of Miller. Whistle blown, it goes against Randolph.
Yeah, and he was getting held. I mean, you could see it from here, that jersey being pulled down. And, you know, he's, again, being a tall guy, if you're not as tall as he is, you're trying to get a little bit of an advantage.
And it's just like we had our first basketball broadcast of the year last night for LHSN. And basketball is where you see the height discrepancies sometimes, where someone who's, for women's basketball, say 6'2", knocks down a girl who's 5'2".
Yeah.
And even if it's not totally egregious, it just looks worse because of the height discrepancy. And the same could be said about Miller working against smaller defenders. First call to the reserves for Coach Yeager and Lynchburg. Liam Lovell comes in. Miller subs out, and now we'll see Kenny Robles in that point striker role.
See if they try to slip Kenny in here after a little bit.
Robles gets the throw in. Tapped out of play. They'll say last touch by a Hornet. Nice play coming from Torrey Brown.
That was surprising. I mean, Kenny had to have played that off of him.
Lynchburg given right back to Lynchburg, however. And right underneath us here in the pavilion overlooking Schellenberger Field. Lots of Randolph fans. And on the other side of the pitch, lots of Hornet fans gathering on Dr. Jack Tom's track. And also got some nice spots to watch the match from the Westover Hall decks. Some onlookers.
It's packed everywhere. All the stands, all up they're all standing up above. Perfect day for soccer.
And it's the first of 3 championship games going to be played this weekend for Lynchburg Fall Sport programs. After this, field hockey team's out in Lexington, Virginia to take on Washington and Lee. That match set to get underway at 4:30. And then tomorrow, you and the women's soccer program out to Newport News area, take on Virginia Wesleyan. Battle between the 1 and 3 seeds in the women's soccer bracket. So it certainly has the potential to be a big weekend for Lynchburg sports. Clean slide tackle for Phillips. He wins it and keeps it in. Level ahead for Robles. Headed away by Wade Hall, senior from Spotsylvania, Virginia.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going to happen there, so I was waiting for a second. We're super pumped to go play, and it's just, it's awesome to be a Hornet right now, to be in that many championship games. It's just amazing for the athletic department as a whole. And even in the spring, same thing, they were doing that. So it's just incredible, just the coaches that are here and the teams that are here and just what everybody does. And
well, you took the words out of my mouth. You go back to last spring and a very busy time of the year due to COVID-19 and the rescheduling of fall sports, winter sports all at the same time with regularly scheduled spring sports. 8 ODAC titles for Lynchburg and have already carried that momentum into this fall, winning the ODAC title for men's and women's cross country. That happened before the month of November. I was joking around with a lot of people in the athletics department. At this pace, 8's going to be nothing. Off the left post. And that leads me to my next point. While you were talking about women's soccer tomorrow, you had to wait.
Yes.
You never know what's going to happen with these two teams. We've seen a lot of action in the middle third.
Yes.
But the second either side gets into their attack, it can happen in a snap of a finger like you just saw from 24, 25 yards out.
Well, and that was headed for the upper bennies, so that was not savable if it had gone in.
Third shot of the day. There it is again. The amount of offensive firepower that these two teams possess, certainly keeping us on our toes.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of talent all over the pitch, but it feels like we're going to see a couple of times today where it's one sequence, 2 passes, maybe 3 executed perfectly, and then there's nothing that the opposing defense can really do about it.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Dale's pass off the mark, intended for Foley. Innes forced out. Send it towards the far sideline and out of play. Leveroni looking ahead for Evan Blow. Lynchburg takes it back. Mega splits 3 separate defenders. The 4th steps up in the form of Wade Hall, who is now down on the pitch holding his knee. Mega also slow to get up. Ennis quickly rolls it ahead for Dale. Both those players back up onto their feet.
And that was the last player to beat for him.
Noah Carney in front of Averett. Averett gets a foot in.
Great defending. Really great timing on the tackle.
Brandon John wanted Isaac Carney. Pass a little too strong. Rose raced to the sideline. Robles couldn't get to it.
Yeah, if Mega had beaten that last defender, he was going to goal. It's tough to beat that many people right in a row, but he almost had it. They found him in a great pocket of space, like we were kind of talking about before. They're surrounding the ball, but if you get it out of that and go right away, you're dangerous, like we saw. Here's a long throw, playing it like a corner.
Just out in front of the 6-yard box. Deflected right back out. Chip sent in the direction of John. Off the head of a Hornet. And we'll see the second corner of the day for Randolph. Once again, it'll be Isaac Carney out to the post. '15th start of the year for Carney, 18th game played. And despite being the insert player on these corner chances, no assist this season for Carney. Right to the 6. Ennis climbs the ladder and gets his hands on it.
Perfect goalkeeping.
Lovell centers it up for Shalita. No numbers advantage for Lynchburg, but it's even 3-on-3. Shalita slips it through to Lovell. He's inside the box. Closest defender is Kyle May. And nothing doing on the run for Lynchburg. Goal kick instead, coming from Ayler.
Hey, that's a fantastic counter, though, and that's going to apply pressure. So just continue. I know you want to try to get a corner of that at least, but, hey, you've put the ball on their half, and you're adding stress to the game for them.
It's something I talk about a lot on these broadcasts. Shifting field possession has to be a big part of that run. Nothing happened, but, hey, now you're out of your own defensive third.
Absolutely, and that's what you wanted.
Another throw-in coming from Torrey Brown. Everett the first to it. Picked up by Evan Blow. Makes it through a couple of Lynchburg defenders. Looks like it might have gone out on the near sideline. But such a crowded area. Tough look for any referee to see.
Yeah, and it's close. I mean, the ball's got to go all the way over that line. And not everyone realizes that, so you're getting some crowd complaints.
Everett comes in from behind and trips up Brandon John, who is still down on the turf. Ben Grease controls, tries to send it to midfield, and instead finds Joey Daly. On a positive note, does look like Brandon John back up onto his feet. Does have a small limp as he works out towards the near side. Also want to note, Wade Hall seemingly okay. Didn't leave the match and moving around fine right now. Same could be said about Mega, who receives this pass, tries to backheel it to Joey Daly. Unable to get the pass away cleanly. Just over 15 minutes left in the first half. Total of 5 shots between the two sides. Randolph with the early 3-2 advantage in that department. But even without the score, there's been plenty of exciting opportunities for both these teams. And additionally, a great crowd on hand always helps make it feel that much more engaging.
Yeah, I mean, you just the excitement here is amazing. And with it being an ODAC, I mean, you probably get pretty big crowds when these guys come together. It's a big game usually. But for it to be on this stage there's a lot for both teams here.
First sub for Randolph. Colby Lambert, freshman from Chesapeake, Virginia, subs in. And he'll hand the blue penny to Tucker Leveroni. Lambert actually high school teammates with Zachary Nipper and Parker Aaron, who we haven't seen yet. Rolling wide right on the tail end of that play, Justin Ennis voicing some frustration of his Lynchburg teammates. For the last 5 minutes or so, we're starting to see Randolph build some momentum on the offensive end, applying a lot of pressure on Ennis as well as the Hornets defense overall.
Yeah, and he wasn't super happy with the clearance. So that ball it was a bad clear, and it went right to that Randolph player at the top of the box. And, a clean strike, it might be a goal.
I think anybody watching this broadcast understands the importance of a clear, but actually going back to y'all's win the other day where had a lot of opportunities, and ultimately Sidney Dombrovskis with the game winner in OT.
Yes.
And earlier in the broadcast, I called the clear the period to end a sentence. You don't want those run-ons, right?
No.
And ultimately in OT, there was a run-on sentence. Y'all took advantage, and Dombrovskis put it in the back of the net.
Yep.
But that's exactly what we're talking about here with Ennis. He does not want to run on sentence in front of his face.
No, you anytime the ball is around that box, the longer it's there, the more danger you have for a goal, something just to get poked in. And you saw it in our game. Wasn't the prettiest of goals, was it? But it rolled right into the corner, and it counts.
Well, when talking to Sydney afterwards, she made it clear she did not think she hit it all that well. But, hey, hit it well enough.
I don't care how you score, just score.
And it broke the ice, 1-0 victory in OT. And y'all are in the championship game tomorrow against Virginia Wesleyan. Nice dribble moves from Kyle May. Gets it away to Carney, ahead for Blow. First touch betrays them. It's picked up by Bailey Kearns. Nice play from Shalita. Gets it ahead to Lovell. Parlays it forward for Robles. Who's the last to touch it? Throw in for Randolph. Obviously, to get to the championship game, got to be playing some good soccer. And these two teams, as hot as it gets, Lynchburg dating to the end of the regular season, winners of 9 in a row entering this contest. For Randolph, it's 3 consecutive wins, 2 of which come in the playoff settings. Quarterfinals win 1-0 versus Roanoke, and then the 3-2 upset against number 1 seed and number 1 team in the country, Washington and Lee.
Yeah, and just again, we're seeing this little bit of a transition where it's a play and through, and you've got Mega there through, and it was just a little bit ahead of him for him to be able to get that last touch.
Noah Carney had it at his feet. Lambert sends it back inside the box. Immediately cleared by Lynchburg.
Handball.
Handball called.
Sometimes you don't know if they'll call that because, your hands are down. I've seen it either way, but in that scenario, his hand helped his touch. So it got the call.
Well, and going back to the semifinals game Lynchburg played against Virginia Wesleyan, both sides were given a rather long leash for physical play.
Yeah.
Nothing that ever got out of hand or out of control by any stretch, but playoff soccer, it's going to get physical, and we're already starting to see that today.
It is, and you're as a ref.
Not necessarily correlating to the handball there, but
right.
It might be one of the few times you hear the whistle today. Inside the 18. Daly to defend. Lambert tried to cross it back over. Lost control. Now Daly clears it ahead. Mega applies some pressure on Dembo and will be called for the foul.
Weird call. I thought Randolph would get called for dangerous by being kind of down and doing that, but
Brown ahead for Blow. Takes the strike, finds the body of Foley, and it rolls across the end line. Third corner of the first half on the way for the Wildcats. And on the near side, it's been Isaac Carney to take. Now on the far end of the pitch, it's Kyle May with the honors. May had 6 assists this season. Started all 19 contests now. Off to the near side. Off the head of Brown. Stays live for a moment. But Ennis is going to have the goal kick. A couple of subs check on for Lynchburg. Carl Makinich as well as Zach Whelan, who had the game winner when these two teams met in the regular season. A 76th minute. Whelan just tucked it underneath the top post and over the hand of Zach Ayler. En route to a 2-1 victory for Lynchburg. And in that match, it was just one of 3 games this year where Evan Blow did not score. Blow did not find the back of the net against Lynchburg, nor in the next game against Roanoke. But other than that, it's been few and far between to not see him find home.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he had some part of that play. Did it come off for the assist or something like that?
And we talk about his goal scoring production, also 8 assists. And some of that naturally comes from if you're such a explosive offensive player and you can put it in the back of the net at any moment, defenses have to key in on that. And because of that, he's become a nice playmaker in turn.
Just on the ball a lot, you know.
And with him, as well as Noah Carney flanking to his left, it's an ever-dangerous Randolph offense. Sent all the way back to Ndembo. Kiss me, Florida native. Sends it across the far sideline. Less than 7.5 to be played in the first half. Throw-in goes to Mega. Has two defenders in front of him. Pass intended for Whelan. And a player down on the turf. They'll stop the clock with 7:13 left. And it looks like it might be Brandon John. Transfer from Mary Baldwin, sophomore from Clarksburg, Maryland. Going to have the athletic trainers venture out onto the turf.
Yeah, and getting the head check. He has to be checked now and supposed to come off. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
John is making his way out to the near sideline. Receives a nice ovation. The Randolph fans on hand. See Brandon John then holding mid-roll so far today. 16th start of the year. 4 goals, 1 assist. But he's been instrumental so far, trying to control possession for Randolph. And much more than many other games we've seen this year for Lynchburg here on LHSN, the possession battle has been nearly even all the way through. And it might be the closest it's been since a 1-1 tie in the second game of the year against CNU.
Well, and I think some of it is the ball staying in the middle of the field, and I feel like it's in the air a lot. And when that happens, the time ticks on. It's sort of, things slow down. But when Lynchburg is able to connect 2 passes, they're right into the attack. So I think as soon as if they're able just to settle, I think you'll see even more of this, going to goal.
Conversations with our lead official.
Here's this drop ball rule I was
giving
TJ an earful about before we got on the broadcast.
It's a new rule, and some adjustments been forced to made, and Ndembo is going to send it back to the keeper, Ayler. Clock is rolling, just over 7 minutes in the first half. Wade Hall carries forward, looks long for Noah Carney. Goes over the head of Carney, picked up instead by another Wildcat, and ultimately cleared across the near sideline. It was Wes Bohr getting to it, junior from Livingston, Virginia. And Brandon John's going to return to the contest, and Bohr will return to the sideline.
Yeah, and he's allowed back on because of that injury. So the re-entry issue isn't an issue there. Here's another long throw, which is, again, another dangerous corner play.
Torrey Brown finds the head of Seth Dale, then Luke Mega. And Lynchburg does a really good job off of those set-piece opportunities or even those long throws, heading it back towards the middle field and trying to create a pseudo-fast break for themselves.
Yeah, you take advantage of all those numbers forward, and you're looking just to get your first pass go forward. So you cut all of those players out from the ability to defend, and they have to trail and win the ball back from you, which is a lot harder.
Like you were just saying, ball stays in the air for a while. Phillips, not a clean clear. Evan Blow got to it. But Lynchburg fortunate that no shot comes of the mistake from Phillips. Lovell couldn't keep it in. And Parker Aaron's going to have Brandon John toss it in.
I thought they were going to get a handball call on that, but Lynchburg won it back and nothing happened. But it definitely hit his arm and it dropped down.
Dambo forward for John. On the outskirts of the attacking third, Blow back to Brown. Now it's John just outside the box, heads it, crosses it, and then finds the head of it looks like Lambert. Have another chance here. Foley was down to a knee, but able to get it outside the 18.
100% a foul. I mean, he cleared the ball and still got his legs taken out, so got to play the ball.
And the foul was called on the play. So Ennis will send it away for Lynchburg. 5-2 shot advantage for Randolph. And of the 5 shots so far, 2 from Noah Carney, 2 from Evan Blow, and another from Tucker Leveroni. And if you're a Randolph fan, that sounds pretty close to right as Liam Lovell absorbs some contact and the whistle is blown going against the Wildcats.
This will be interesting. Sun is a factor right now.
Here's another look at it. Brandon John, the guilty party.
Drop this ball into right on the PK spot. Keeper's having a hard time seeing as it is.
Zach Ayler between the posts having to shield the Sun with his right hand. Daly will take the free kick, 2-player wall in front of him. Now has the whistle. Sends it right to the PK spot. Good play from Brown. He was the first to it. Makinich centers it up. Phillips. Now Foley. Ayler's out of the net. Can Lynchburg put it on? Defensive save coming from Torrey Brown. Maybe the biggest play of the match so far.
That was wild. I mean, again, we had a ball bouncing around the box like we've been talking about. Things happen. The goalie's out. You're not able to get quite the power you want on it. And then good defending by Randolph, having somebody backing up their keeper on the line.
Maybe the best scoring opportunity we've seen all match. There you see Liam Lovell, the junior from Haymarket, Virginia. It was a key cog in the mix. The Hornets nearly opening today's scoring.
Looks like we moved Kearns back up top during that break.
Kearns rushes forward to Ayler. Just barely able to clear it.
And there you go. That's why sometimes you want your forward to pressure like that alone, because it creates an error. And that's try to drive that into players all the time. When we are pressing, you may not win a tackle, but you're going to force the error, and that's what we want.
Lynchburg looking to steal one before we break for halftime. Pass goes to Makinich. Broken up by Ndembo. Gathered by Averett. Back to Daly. Looks long. Lovell gets some of his head on it. Not clean contact. Picked up by Brown, who just had the defensive save. Whelan comes in and jars it away along the near sideline.
Lynchburg hoping to keep this ball down here. They've got a little bit of momentum. See if they can take advantage of it before this minute runs out.
Here's a replay of that last play. Whelan taking on Brown, a pair of sophomores going hard for the loose ball. Less than a minute in the first half. Throw in sent towards Parker Aaron. Junior from Chesapeake, goal and assist this year. Daly sends it off the body of Bohr and out of play. Before the match, when we were talking about potential Lagana replacements, you and I talked about Bailey Kearns as someone who could fill in that point striker role, and that's where he's kind of shifted towards the latter half of the first half. Less than 10 seconds left. Lynchburg sends it back to Ennis. who pops it up towards the grandstands. And that will bring a close to a very exciting first half of the ODAC Men's Soccer Championship game between the Lynchburg Hornets and the Randolph Wildcats in a battle of the Berg. Don't go anywhere. We'll step aside, come back with some stats from the first 45 minutes of play. Plenty more coming between the Wildcats and the Hornets here on LHSN.
If you want to know your customers, shop where they shop. Live where they live. And spend time with them as neighbors. With over 100 local offices, Virginia Farm Bureau agents are part of your community. If you want insurance from a company that knows you, get to know us.
Be ready for anything, okay?
Come on, let's go together! Together, let's go! Come on! Let's go, keep going!
Carry this to the desk to it. Wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Good one.
All right, guys, you see the meat grinder down here?
Stay in the boat, let's go! Camera? Oh, what'd you think of that? Woo!
Field turf was built on innovation, dating back to our invention of long-piled infield turf, which revolutionized the industry. Today, we offer a series of game-changing fibers, high-performance infills, sport-specific applications, and smart field technology. Field turf. Let's change the game together.
Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia. It's halftime between the Hornets and the Wildcats. No score at the break. TJ Wingert alongside Coach Matt Newton. And, Coach, we're going to show some stats here on the screen, but what were some of your overall big takeaways from the first 45 minutes?
Yeah, I think you saw with Randolph, you're looking at a team that was really that pressure up top. They were able to take advantage of a couple things and get on to goal. And then I think when you see with Lynchburg is when they're able to bring the ball down and pass, they're immediately on goal. So we've had this a little bit of it stayed in the middle. It's been kind of in the air, but then there's been a little bit of ebb and flow there towards the end, I feel like.
Yeah, two teams, especially in the last 10 minutes or so, feel like they both got a couple of good looks in their attacking third, and that's sort of what we were talking about. A lot of back-and-forth nature right around midfield, but then the second they get in the attacking third, you hold your breath a little bit waiting to see that first score.
You are, absolutely.
And it makes sense with a player like Evan Blow, Noah Carney, Tucker Leveroni, just the three players I could name for Randolph in a very explosive attack. And then on the other side, even without Brendan Lagana, Trevor Miller played well, Luke Mega, Kenny Robles, Bailey Kearns. Offensive firepower left and right.
Absolutely. So it's just, again, it's like you're going to probably see teams it might come off the mistake. This where the goal comes from today.
Here are those stats. One more shot for Randolph, couple more corners, but overall very evenly battled, which you would expect in a hometown battle and also conference championship game. Winner of this contest gets the automatic qualifier for the NCAA tournament, which will start next Friday. We're going to step aside, come back with some highlights, and talk about individual players from the first 45 minutes of action. Don't go anywhere. More between Lynchburg and Randolph coming to you on LHSN.
Living the dream. USA, Mexico. That was so exciting.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
If you like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer, the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you. It has a beautiful campus, it has dedicated teachers, it has nice students, it has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do.
0-0 at halftime between Lynchburg and Randolph in the ODAC Men's Soccer Championship game here on LHSN. TJ Winger alongside Coach Matt Newton of the Lynchburg Women's Soccer Program. And Coach, we've gotten our money's worth. We'll show some highlights from the first 45 minutes of play. But now we're going to take the opportunity to talk about some individual players. We'll start with Randolph. Noah Carney, couple shots, as did Evan Blow, and you felt them out on the pitch. Lynchburg's defense is really good, and they do a good job taking away those star-studded players. But today, you have been noticing Carney and Blow throughout the entire match.
Yeah, and they're both pretty, shifty guys. So when they get the ball, they're able usually to beat the first guy and then kind of combine off of that. And I feel like they've when they received it into that final third, you're wondering, okay, what's going to happen here?
And then another couple players that have really stood out, Brandon John as well as Tori Brown, did a good job maintaining possession. And Torrey Brown, of course, has the defensive save with Ayler out of the net. And Zach Ayler only faced 2 shots on goal, and he was out of the post for one of the biggest shots on goals of the first half. Yeah. But that said, I think overall that defense for Randolph has also been very impressive so far.
Yeah, they've been able to absorb that kind of quick attack that Lynchburg's thrown at them there, especially towards the end of this half.
And a lot of credit has to go to Hordy and Dembo and Wade Hall, those 2 center backs. On the other side for Lynchburg, 4 shots come from 4 different players: Griffin Phillips, Luke Mega, Kenny Robles, and Nick Foley. So 2 of the forwards you would expect, and the 2 center backs almost assuredly on those set-piece plays. And then the defense had a couple of missed opportunities there with potential poor clears that nearly gave way to Randolph finding the net for our first score.
Yeah, and it was good, good for Lynchburg that didn't turn into anything, and
avoided
then
chaos.
Yeah, and then towards the end of this half, I really liked what that Lynchburg was doing. They were connecting passes, and those 1-2 quick passes, especially forward, they were in a bunch of times, and I felt like the momentum was swinging towards them. They started playing their game a little bit more, and it was good to see, because when those forwards get into the box there, we know how dangerous they can be.
No doubt about it. And we'll give you an update on the reserves. Randolph used 4 players off the bench in the first half. Lynchburg used 3. It was Carl McIntosh, Zach Whelan, and Liam Lovell. For Randolph, it was Wes Boer, Gavin Levernette, and Parker Aaron, as well as Colby Lambert. We're going to step aside one more time and come back and talk about a few of the other elements that have stood out and caught our eye so far in today's championship match. So don't go anywhere. Plenty more to watch between the Wildcats and the Hornets here on LHSN.
Living the dream. USA, Mexico. I was so excited.
Less than a minute away from the second half getting underway between Lynchburg and Randolph. TJ Wingert alongside Coach Matt Newton here on LHSN. Thank you all for spending some time with us here on this Saturday afternoon and what's going to be a jam-packed championship weekend for the University of Lynchburg. But here, men's soccer championship game, 0-0 at the break. Been really entertaining despite no score so far. And a couple other things that have really stood out so far. Very physical play and also a great crowd showing up for both these sides.
Yeah, and you expect that being local, a lot of fan turnout, which is awesome. And then these two teams, they're known for that physical fight that they go against each other. Sometimes even in this first half, I almost would have expected a little bit more cards sometimes going. I've seen it. It can get there.
And it's really interesting. You look at these two sides. Lynchburg's won 6 in a row against Randolph, so it's a little bit of that older brother, little brother mentality with it. And the last time Randolph beats Lynchburg happened to be on the biggest stage, looking to do the same today. That was 10 years ago, 2011, the ODAC Men's Soccer Championship game. Randolph winning their only men's soccer title in program history. On the other side, Lynchburg looking for number 8 under the leadership of Chris Yeager. And they played really well in the first half, and like I said, they've won 6 in a row against Randolph. They've had the advantage in this battle all time, and also 11-1 at home. It certainly helped having the advantage of playing this on Schellenberger Field. And furthermore, Lynchburg unbeaten at home this year. Overall record at 9-0-1. The one non-win was a 1-1 tie against CNU, ranked number 22 in the country at the time. So, all that to say, this is a match where the numbers are meaningless. There's 45 minutes left to be played to decide who is going to the NCAA tournament starting next Friday.
No better place to play it than Schellenberger Field.
Randolph with the early possession. Evan Blow flicks forward, and it slips under the foot of Foley. Daly can't get a good clear. Leveroni takes the shot, leaves it wide of everything. Leveroni opened the scoring in the semifinal win against Washington and Lee. And this is what we were just talking about, Coach Newton.
Yeah.
Lynchburg's had a couple of moments you look back in the first half and say, that poor clear attempt, or lack of a clear, really, could have given Randolph the first goal of the match, and it nearly happened again right there.
Yeah, that was a close one. Went right to him.
And it comes from a couple of seniors who have been as good as it gets on the defensive side across the entire conference, in Griffin Phillips and Joey Daly. Daly defending just in front of Noah Carney and heads it down towards the keeper, Justin Ennis.
Yeah, fantastic defending there, and just really smart play by heading it down so his keeper can pick it up. And they're off attacking.
Of the 6 shots for Randolph, none have been on goal. So it's still this interesting world which Justin Ennis lives, entering this match over the last 5 matches played. Only seen 6 shots on goal and hasn't seen one yet today, despite 6 sent in the direction, or 6 shots in general taken by Randolph.
He hasn't had to use his hands a ton. I mean, other than that one, maybe was it a corner kick where he just came up and grabbed it? And
that was about as close as it's been. Granted, there have been a couple of turnovers off those poor clears, including one from Evan Blow where takes the 180, has it at his feet, and just left it wide right of the post. So it's not a shot on goal, but a couple inches away from being just that.
I know that's such an interesting stat a little bit. Like, you feel like if it hits frame, should it count,
And it's one of those things, like, you look at baseball, and if any part of the ball crosses the plate, it's a strike. So that's the zone.
Yeah.
So it feels like soccer. If I had any say, you should stretch out what a shot on goal really is, because that opportunity from Blow in the first half, to me, as good a look as you'll get.
Yeah. Interesting foul here. Didn't look like much from our vantage point, but
it's going to give Randolph a free kick just beyond the attacking third line. It looks like Leveroni is standing over the ball. Send it to the 12. Luke Mega got ahead on it. Ricocheted back out to Brown. Able to keep it away from both Shalita and Kearns. Crosses it once again, just over the head of Carney. Ben Grease working against Trevor Miller. Loose ball gathered by Shalita. The ever-impressive sophomore from Fairfax, Virginia. Swings it out wide. It's with Kenny Robles. Junior has 6 goals this year, including 2 in the semis. A 3-0 victory over Virginia Wesleyan. Lynchburg with a win can end the tournament with 10 consecutive W's on their schedule. Kearns takes the shot. It was deflected, and Ayler's in the right spot.
It was a pretty good place to take a shot, too, so.
It would be the first ODAC championship for Lynchburg since 2016. Poked away by Phillips, and he'll carry forward. Meanwhile, on the other side, Randolph looking for their first conference title. Since 2011, it'd be the second overall in program history, and it would end a 6-game losing streak against Lynchburg. Good ball forward. Daly has Mega. With the left foot, Mega doesn't get clean contact, and Ayler is there to pick up the slow roller.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run by Mega. So he put himself in a position where the outside back had to trade him off to the center back, and in that communication, while they're communicating, the ball's through. So it's right. He's slipping right through those guys and right onto goal.
So now we're knotted up, 6 shots for both sides. Kearns over to Dale, junior from Chesterfield, Virginia. Has Robles, gives to Mega. Now it's back with Averett, who's going to try to swing it to the near side. Set down by Miller, has Daly in front of him. Good ball ahead. Lynchburg stays on side. Daly crosses. No one was there to redeflect it. It was also just barely wide of the post.
If that's on frame, that's a goal. The keeper did not have that covered. And, man, just, a foot from our angle to the left?
And just what we were talking about, not a shot on goal, but
yeah,
you'd be crazy not to call that a great look. And it actually gave me memories of the first goal of the season.
Yeah.
For this Lynchburg men's soccer team. Daly just had a seam in front of him, carried it forward, and from 20-plus yards out, took a shot, put it in the top right, upper 90 corner.
I think you and I were on the call for that. So
a 4-1 win over the Covenant Scots.
It's kind of happened twice over here on this left side where when the back gets forward, it's causing some confusion between this right back and the center back and the covering and picking up who, and they're able to get in twice.
And we talked about it. It's going to come down to really good play from the back line, and both teams haven't had that mistake yet that you look at as the difference. We talked about the seniority for Lynchburg at the top of the broadcast. A lot of the same could be said about Randolph, though they do have some younger players like Torrey Brown, who to me has been the most impressive of the bunch. He's just a sophomore, as is Horty and Dembo. But then next to him, you have a senior in Wade Hall, and then the right back is number 8, Ben Grease, senior and hometown kid from Lynchburg, Virginia. Lynchburg tried to play it quick. The referee is going to force Phillips to try once more. Robles attempts to get it inside the 18. It's deflected right back out. Tries again. It's Kearns in front of Ayler, but Ayler climbs the ladder and gets his hands on it.
He's complaining a little bit about contact, but the ref's just saying, hey, look, you got the ball. Let's play.
And to continue my point about the back four so far for Randolph, we talked about Lynchburg trying to take advantage of some of the communication as it comes in and some of the shifts. And they've been doing that against Grease, the senior, and he's playing next to a sophomore and Dembo. So taking advantage where those two might not be on the same page. Ball gives all the way back to Ayler. Almost 8 minutes through the second half. Ball ahead for Brown.
Still
barely
in.
Kept in.
They all thought it went out of bounds.
Instead it stays live. Lynchburg looks to reverse, and it's well out in front of Daly.
Yeah, I think he thought he was there already, released. Would have been a really good ball. I mean, they could have gone right into the attack from there.
Carney settles. Taken away by Phillips. And we're starting to see Lynchburg use that field reverse very effectively, at least here in the onset of the second half, gotten a couple of looks and quality runs off of it. Kearns wanted Shalita. Pass out in front of the sophomore. Leveroni ahead for Blow. He's onside with the left foot. It's a tough angle to take the shot.
That ball took kind of a weird bounce and it held up, which caused the issue with the keeper there is like, okay, do I go or do I not go? When it holds up like that.
Well, we've seen Blow a couple times take the shot off of the bounce. And it was on that occasion we were talking about a few minutes ago where it was just wide right of the post in the first half, and then this one not quite as good a look.
I don't know why they're getting
contact.
a corner. Sorry to interrupt you, but that was a shot. Should be a goal kick. They're complaining about it too. What's going on here?
Isaac Carney from the far side post. Has it find Trevor Miller and then ultimately cleared by Lynchburg. And Shalita steaming ahead, full head of steam. Lack of quality phrasing.
And again, there's that pressure. So it's like if he does win it, that'd be amazing. If not, you force this really terrible clearance and you still got the ball in their half.
And that run and pressure applied by Shalita, reminiscent of what we saw Bailey Kearns do on a play at the end of the first half, and charging forward with pace, really what I was trying to spit out there. But nonetheless, it forces Ayler to have this clock sped up, and not even a minute later, now we're seeing a throw-in deep into positive territory for Lynchburg. And this is normally where you see Brennan Lagana. He is normally the insert player on these long throw-ins, and he sends it towards Bailey Kearns. Now Kearns out on the far sideline. Sails it over Foley and Phillips. It was alive for a moment. Now cleared away by Brandon John.
That was dangerous. I mean, that was like a perfect throw. It landed right in the middle of the goal mouth.
Daly cuts off the pass. AR puts the flag in the air, and that ends the run for Lynchburg.
So he came back. He came from an offside position and then touched the ball. The only question I would have is there was a touch in between. He didn't touch it right away, but he must have still been off when he came to get that ball.
Dambo looking for help. And tried to split a couple of Hornet defenders to get it to Leveroni. Nice pass forward. Mega on the baseline or end line. Wrong sport. Can't do much with it. Goal kick coming from Zach Ayler.
Just barely got away from him. Great run again, though. He caught that outside back high, and he slipped through that gap a couple times now. I think they should just keep going there.
Ayler shows off the leg, sends it to midfield.
What a header win by Bailey Kearns.
Whistle on the play, and Nick Foley frustrated and will get a yellow card. Foley, a team captain, letting the temper flare. And we did see a player hit the turf, and Noah Carney was looking for the call and got it.
I didn't catch that. I was still looking kind of where the header was, and he is just down. And then you've got, Nick Foley. He's a ref himself, so he's mad about something with that call. But again, you're probably going to get a yellow when you're that heated. I know from experience. I've had a few of those in my day.
And he gives Randolph free kick. Evan Blow over the ball. Two-man wall in front of him. Blow rolls it through in front of every other Wildcat. So fortunately enough for Lynchburg and any Hornets viewers watching, Nothing comes to fruition for Randolph off the foul and then proceeding yellow given to Foley. A nice pass from Averett, I beg your pardon, has Dale. Set down by Miller. Shalita over to Mega. 3 separate Wildcats defenders collapse on Mega. He's forced to retreat back some. Daly off the chest of Miller and barely out in front of Shalita.
That was a fantastic pass by Miller. I mean, just really clever to use your chest like that just to put Shalita in. He just wasn't quite ready for it.
Leveroni left it out in front of Grease. Ends up going all the way back to Ndembo, then Ayler. Dale wanted the call as he collides with Kyle May. Won't get it. Robles creates the turnover. Give and go with Shalita. Can't complete the pass, and now Carter Averett able to keep it with Lynchburg. The Randolph fans wanting the foul. Daly out in front of every other Hornet on the run, including Trevor Miller and Luke Mega.
Interesting play. I mean, we're getting grabbed. Lynchburg's getting grabbed, and he's pushing him off. They kind of keep possession, so you see a little bit of a play on, sort of like okay, they equal out. The fouls equal out.
Both using their hands, so that's even. Zach Whelan enters the contest. Trevor Miller subs out.
Good minutes by Miller there. These 15 minutes were great by him. So now you see Kearns going up top, we felt like pretty successful in that ending of the last half.
Small sample size, was only at that point striker role for about 5 minutes, but he was impressive for the time we did get to see him in that role. Robles, parallel to the 18, wanting Mega. Poked out of the hands of Ayler, and the whistle is blown, ending the run for Lynchburg.
Yeah, keeper had possession, so you're gonna call that play. I mean, they're kind of colliding, so nothing real crazy there, but they'll call it.
And the trend of the match continues. Looks for both sides, but we're still waiting for that first score. And it feels like we would anticipate this with the championship match, but it certainly has lived up to the billing where as this match has progressed, feels like there's a wire of tension slowly being pulled, and every minute that gets played
it's heating up.
Puts you on the edge of your seat that much more. Off the look like head of May as Dale was attempting to clear. Last touched by the senior from Raleigh, North Carolina. They're going to stop the clock with 28:40. That's in the second half.
Probably just catching his breath.
Wildcats fans cheering on their right back. May will stay in the contest. Throw in for Lynchburg. Randolph able to bring numbers forward. Opportunity to apply the press and create a turnover. It's picked up by Daly. Trying to slip it through to Mega. Agrees. Able to find Ayler. Both sides with seven shots. Evan Blow wanted a call. Didn't get it. Whelan back for Kearns. Trying to return the favor, looking for Whelan.
Yeah, I thought Kearns would turn and go to goal. He's gotten a shot from that area before.
Isaac Carney wanted his brother Noah pass maybe a step out in front of the junior. Brandon John, good ball forward. Carney in front of Foley. Wanted to center it up for Leveroni. Lynchburg's defense comes through with another big stop.
Level
reverse.
Yeah, level with the clear. I mean, just getting it out of the middle is huge. It wasn't like some big clear out, but it's gets you out of danger and allows you to reset, and you got possession again going forward.
Shalita finds Robles with some real estate. Marked up by Torrey Brown, who's going to be called for the foul. And Robles cheers on the Lynchburg faithful on the far side.
Getting the crowd pumped up for the kick. I feel like he hasn't touched the ball a ton the last few minutes, so there he is creating something.
Kenny Robles, a man of the people, to put it simply, after both his goals in the semis, immediately looked towards the fans and couple of gestures, hypes him up. He does the same here.
Gotta love it.
And both times I've talked to him post-game for interviews, teammates call him Ronaldo. Ronaldo does the interviews. Kenny, you have to also. Anecdote aside, Daly with the free kick. Goes behind Whelan. And off the body of a Randolph defender. Now to play it goes.
Here comes Kearns for the corner throw. Had a great one last time.
You'll see Lynchburg stack Zach Whelan, number 12, right in front of Griffin Phillips, number 5. And that's the direction this pass is going to go. Leveroni sent off the body of Dale. Randolph wanted the handball. Ultimately, nothing comes of the play for Lynchburg.
They're calling it, I think.
I believe you are correct. So Ayler starts out the possession for Randolph.
AR made the call in the end.
Kearns creates the turnover. Trying to sneak it through to Shalita. Too much mustard in the pass. Goal kick for the senior from Vinton, Virginia. Colby Lambert returns to the match. And he'll come on with Kyle May checking out. Just over 25 minutes left in regulation. Nice pass. Leveroni has Carney. Wanted blow, but Foley stands between the two.
Fantastic clearance. They had some guys running towards goal. That was going to be dangerous.
Well played by Kearns. Shalita with a step on his defender. Send it towards the 6. Wildcats with a big stop. Whelan knocks John off the ball. Will be called for it.
It's getting interesting. That was a good hit. I mean, it was shoulder to shoulder. So Lynchburg's trying to call for the, hey, look, even. When you go that far flying, though, probably going to get called. I love those hits, though.
And as the physical play continues to build, as does the participation, for lack of a better term, for the fan bases watching this championship match.
The defender in me enjoyed letting those go.
Robles finds Mega. Has some room to work with. Tripped up by Ndembo. They'll stop the clock, 23-29, and Ndembo given the yellow.
And he draws those. I mean, when he's able, the ball's just glued to his foot. So when he's a defender thinks they're making a play, if timing their tackle and they're not, and they get him, you're going to get that called. And being where it is and how it played out, it's a card. So now you've got some kids that have to be careful. There's 23 minutes left. There's half of a half, and you got to be smart about how you challenge now.
Well, case in point, in the first half against Virginia Wesleyan, drew the contact inside the box and then got the PK and took advantage. Free kick sent to the 18. Cleared along the sideline. It was getting close. It was bending towards the post. But it now provides an opportunity for subs to check in for both sides. Carl McInich, Liam Lovell return, as does Kyle May for Randolph. Bailey Kern's out, as is Kenny Robles. And Randolph's going to take Horty and Dembo out of the match. One of those two center backs. We'll see some shifts along the back line. Dale pops it up and over everyone. Liam Lovell the closest to it.
Thought that was going to stay in. That was kind of a weird fly to that ball.
The wind is blowing out towards the left half of the pitch based off of our over-the-top camera view. Whelan works against Brandon John. It's picked up by Evan Blow. Swings it over to Carney. In front of Foley. Breaks back to his left. Leaves the shot wide.
Yeah, they had the goal pretty well covered there, which was good. So there's not that window is small, and the one that was available was wide.
And all the talk coming into the match about the offensive players for both these teams, but the defenses have been there to answer the call, and that last possession shows it. There may have been a shot, but it came amidst four separate defenders for Lynchburg. The flag goes up.
Calling the coming back offsides call. So
seen that a couple times
yeah.
now.
Mega in offside position when he touched the ball, or coming from an offside position.
Tori Brown to take the free kick. They'll play it short, just across midfield. Grease wanted John. Leveroni heads it back the direction of Blow. Cleared away by the senior Griffin Phillips. Hall's going to set it back to Ayler now. Lynchburg wins possession. Mega, after the pass, going to do anything with it. Lovell gets past Brown. They'll say last touched by Tori Brown.
Gets the corner. I mean, that's why you want to try to drive in line when you can, because you get a cross off or they touch it, you're playing for that corner if you don't get your cross off.
On to the 71st minute. Liam Lovell trots to the near side post. Just the second corner of the day for Lynchburg. contrasted to 4 so far for Randolph. Low liner from Lovell. Sneaks through a very congested 6-yard box. It's going to stay with Lynchburg.
Yeah, it just happened to be behind some of the Lynchburg players, so they couldn't get it to go towards goal.
Throw in from Dale goes out to Shalita. And then cleared by Randolph. Leveroni has Evan Blow just for a moment. Poked free by Zach Whelan. Wade Hall wins it back. The two teams continue to scrum for possession.
Looks like Miller came in.
Miller subbed in just a moment ago, and now we have a sub for Randolph as Parker Aaron subbed in right around this point in the first half. And he does so again in the second half, coming on for Isaac Carney. Throw in for Randolph. Wildcats looking to avenge the 2-1 loss at home earlier this year to Lynchburg, and also garner their second championship title in program history. Evan Blow settles. And as he tries to pass it to his back line, finds the body of Shalita. Makinich tries to keep it in, and off the body of a Wildcat it goes.
Great play.
Earns Lynchburg the possession. 17.5 minutes left in the second half. The intended target's Miller. Makinich, the head of steam, on the backside of that play. Forces Randolph to once again clear it along the sideline. Miller, after receiving the pass underneath it, sails it over all the intended targets. Phillips watches it roll out of play. Lynchburg looking to stay unbeaten at home, 9-0-1 this season. While Randolph on the other side looking to gather their 4th consecutive win and garner the automatic qualifier into the NCAA tournament, which is going to be an interesting discussion itself. The winner of this match obviously has the AQ, and then Washington and Lee had not lost before falling in the semis to Randolph as near side AR shows the flag. Blow was offside.
Yeah, and you've just, we've seen this a couple times on both sides, and it's because you've got guys that are sort of, they're trying to be sneaky. They're hanging around the line. They're trying to be behind people. But sometimes when you do that, you're offsides.
Shalita's cross, deflected off the body of Brown, who then carries it across midfield. Even numbers forward for Randolph. Tries to find Blow.
And he tried to lay it off of his chest for a shot from one of the other Randolph players there. It could have been a really difficult one to deal with if they'd gotten it off.
Nice hustle from Zach Whelan towards the end of the play and gets it right back for the Hornets offense. Continue that point, though. WNL, a team you would presume is going to make the NCAA tournament, was the #1 team in the country prior to their loss to Randolph. And then it puts the loser of this match in a really tough spot. We're not going to speculate here on the broadcast, but loser of this match, despite some impressive resumes and wins for both these sides, might not have a pathway to make it into the NCAA tournament. So therefore, all that much more levity and gravitas onto the winner of this contest. You know you're into the NCAA tournament, as opposed to waiting tomorrow at 1:30 with your fingers crossed and hoping the field shakes out with 3 separate ODAC teams making it into the field.
100%, it's crucial. You know, you want to control your own destiny, right, instead of having somebody else pick it for you. You know, and it could have been tough for W. You know, if they weren't number 1 or real high, it could have been tough for them to get in. That they're fortunate to be that up in the rankings.
Foley gets it forward to Lovell. Just saw a flurry of substitutions for Lynchburg, including Luke Mega and Kenny Robles returning. Lambert pleased that it went off the arm of Lovell, and Kearns tangled up with Brown. And Brown now down on the turf.
Yeah, and he came in cleats up, and so that's why they're really complaining about that.
Clock hasn't been stopped. And now,
there you go.
Signal made with 13-14 left in the second half. Here's another look at the play. Kearns and Brown twisted into a pretzel. Those look like Brown is okay. He's back up onto his feet. There you see Colby Lambert, freshman from Chesapeake. He was momentarily over the ball. Instead, it's going to be Brown take the free kick. Both sides getting set up. We presume to see Brown send it to the 18. Some discussions to be had. Head referee and Bailey Kearns. No card given out. Instead of warning, given to the senior from Broad Run, Virginia. Brown tries to roll it to the box. Cleared by Whelan.
Yeah, I think he mishit that.
Nice cross. Makes its way past the 12-yard mark. Now outside the 18. Kearney has it jarred loose by Robles. He'll try once again. Over the head of Blow. Kearns wins it back for Lynchburg. The Randolph faithful wanting a foul on the play. Also in the vicinity on the scoring opportunity for Randolph was Wes Bohr. He was the one with the cross through the box, and it was a beautiful pass at that.
Yeah, Randolph took advantage of just kind of a quick throw. You could hear some of the coaches over here yelling, it's not over. You know, keep going, because that play ended, but this game hasn't. They're able to get just that quick cross off.
Robles just ahead of midfield. Gives back to Phillips. Now it's Foley. 79th minute of play. We saw Rudy and Dembo leave some of the center backs playing next to Wade Hall, and it's now Torrey Brown take over in that role. With Brown moving from right back, that's been filled by Colby Lambert.
Yeah, I wonder if he had some sort of injury or something going on. I don't see him down here.
He was awarded that yellow card.
Okay.
So it might be a preemptive effort, trying to avoid a second in his direction.
Yeah.
Strictly speculation. Also give credit to Torrey Brown, who's played really well today. Daly, pass off the mark, wanted Lovell. Lambert tosses into Brandon John. Flicks forward, out in front of Evan Blow. Mega controls, flips the field, now has Lovell off the foot of Lambert. and across the end line. Third corner of the day, and a big opportunity late for Lynchburg.
That was a great intentional play. I mean, he just kind of heeled it back to get the corner. And, now let's see if Lynchburg can capitalize on this, convert one of these.
Monza Shalita checks in for Zach Whelan as Kenny Robles heads to the near side post. Big set piece opportunity late in the contest. Lynchburg tries to play it short. Robles barely able to get it out to Dale. Then off the head of Phillips. Ayler comes through with the save. His 5th on the afternoon. Leveroni's pass, too strong in front of Evan Blow.
Yeah, they're trying to get him on that counter off the corner like we've talked about. When you have all these numbers forward, can you go quickly?
Level against Lambert. Now Daly versus Bohr. Good makeup speed from Daly. Bohr, though, gets the pass ahead to Leveroni. He'll try to cross. Foley heads it away. Good move from Robles. Creates some space for himself in front of Kyle May. Pass intended for Mega. Wade Hall steps up. Wins it for Randolph. Sent to the box. Daly the first to it. Now the shot from Blow. High and wide.
Yeah, and that header, that came off, that's not the guy you want the ball to land to, especially in the last, waning minutes of this thing.
Evan Blow has been held without a goal in just 3 matches this season, one of which was against Lynchburg in the regular season. And the Hornets and all Lynchburg fans listening, hoping history can repeat itself in that regard, but other side of the same coin, Randolph wants to see history repeat itself in regards to the 2011 ODAC Men's Soccer Championship game. That was the last time the Wildcats bested the Hornets. It was a 2-1 final score, that game being played over at Randolph 10 years ago. Phillips gets it away, has Mega. Less than 8 minutes to go. Averett to Liam Lovell. In front of Lambert. Turns, fires, Ayler there to make the save.
Good opportunity there, and really great job of Mega getting the ball, holding it up, beating a couple guys, and then they are able to pass across the box, find the open man, and get the shot off.
Lynchburg was able to work quickly on the offensive side, but give credit to Randolph and their defense. Does just enough to recover in time. Forces Level to settle for the shot just in front of Lambert. Now it's Mega looking for space against Brown with the left foot. Wade Hall steps up. Attempts to clear, goes right to Lovell. Trying to get it to Mega. Slide tackle. And a good one from Brown. Able to get it away from the 18. Pass goes past Averett. It's Evan Blow with a step on Phillips. Shot, save from Ennis. Phillips keeps it in. Or it looked like he did for a moment.
Yeah, I thought it was in too. I'm surprised. Wow.
And on the first clear attempt from Phillips, he came up empty. And at the end of this play, because Phillips couldn't clear there, it gives Randolph their 5th corner on the afternoon.
Fantastic save. Keep them in the game. We're 10 on 10 for shots right now. Not sure what the corner count is.
Seven of the 11 on the turf for Randolph inside the 18. Off the body of Daly it goes. It was sent in the direction of Brandon John. Averett tracked down from behind by Torrey Brown.
That's some speed there because Lynchburg was off on the attack.
Loose ball goes across the near sideline. Torrey Brown stands at 6'2". Nice tall frame. The long strides to go with it certainly help him cover the necessary ground. And he's going to have Colby Lambert toss it in. There you see Carter Averett, the impactful junior. Third team all-conference a season ago, 2 goals and an assist so far this season. One of those 2 scores comes in the quarterfinals against Shenandoah. He was the lone Hornet to score other than Luke Mega's hat trick. Lovell in front of Leveroni. After it looks like Randolph wins it, they're called for a foul, giving it right back to Lynchburg. We'll let you be the judge.
Not sure. Inconclusive from my view. I guess they're just calling from getting hit from behind there and going down. But I felt like he got the ball, so it was sort of an interesting challenge. We'll take the foul though.
Result of the free kick. Nothing doing for the Hornets. Averett heads it down, and Lovell swings it out wide for Robles, trying to parlay it ahead to Shalita, unable to do so. Randolph fans in front of us pick up their intensity. Less than 4 minutes to go in the second half. Mega passes forward, no one home for Lynchburg. And of course, we make it through regulation. We'll head to the first of 2 potential 10-minute golden goal overtime periods. Kearns pops it up. He and John then try to go after it. Lynchburg gets it ahead to Lovell, keeps it in.
Yeah, I don't know how he got that touch to keep it in.
Brown sends it towards the center of the pitch.
It's going to hold up.
Lovell's onside. In front of Torrey Brown. Feeds Shalita. Has it jarred loose, and across the end line it goes. Set piece opportunity for Lynchburg as Zach Whelan returns to the contest and comes on for Lovell. Kenny Robles will take the corner. Robles sends it right to Ayler, who punches it away. Rolls all the way out of the attacking third for Lynchburg. Last touch by Lambert, they'll say. Looked like it might have gone off the foot of Dale. Instead, they'll say that Lambert was the final player to get a piece of it. Wildcat fans voiced their displeasure. But it's going to be a throw-in for Joey Daly.
I mean, just based off the way it rolled, I thought it was going to be a Lynchburg throw anyways.
Throw-in goes to Kearns. Immediately taken away by Parker Aaron. Airs it out for Carney. Heads it down for himself. Foley applies just enough pressure and forces a weakly hit shot towards Justin Ennis, who punts it deep. It's been that close all day long. Feels like we'll see 90% of a clean, scoring-worthy sequence, and then that final step in the chain is where it falls apart for both sides. Mega, back for Robles. Shot deflected off the body of Kyle May. 45 seconds and counting. Whelan gives to Shalita, crosses it, out of play. That may well serve as the final run we see from either team in the second half. Whelan's going to be called for the foul. They're going to stop the clock. 16 seconds left. Whelan the guilty party on a hard hit against Kyle May. No card given out. Free kick just ahead of the midfield line.
Everybody's getting back. You know, you just got to defend, ride this out now. 16 seconds.
Sent high, end of the 18. Headed down by a Lynchburg defender, cleared by Robles. And in a match that's been this evenly fought and this entertaining to match, it can't come to a close after 90 minutes. More soccer to watch here between the 2-seed Lynchburg Hornets and the 4-seed Randolph Wildcats. If you're going anywhere after everything you've seen, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to take a quick pause and come back just ahead of the first overtime period, potentially between Lynchburg and Randolph. Don't go anywhere. More between the Hornets and the Wildcats coming to you on LHSN.
Never think that your donation is in vain, because you're helping out hundreds of students that are just like me, who need a shot and who are getting one. Without donations, without you individuals that are helping to donate to the university and the Lynchburg Fund, there would be no student body president Davion Washington. There'd probably be I'm stuck at home, Davion Washington. Not only is your donation building leaders, but it's building leaders like myself and others that will hopefully want to pay it forward one day and do the same thing. I know for a fact that, when I have it, because I want to give back to this university that provided me a home for 4 years.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
90 minutes, not enough to decide a victor between the 2-seed Lynchburg Hornets and the 4-seed Randolph Wildcats. It's been a fun one to watch here from Schellenberger Field. TJ Wingert alongside Coach Matt Newton. And Coach, safe to say we've gotten our money's worth today.
Yeah, we have. I mean, a lot of excitement when some of these players, these attacking players, are getting the balls around the box and they're getting shots off, right? So you're at your 12 to 11 on shots. Both teams have been dangerous, been pretty even so far. So let's see what these next. Now it's golden goal. So the antes are raised up now.
Now it comes to a situation where one mistake is the difference in this one. The stakes couldn't be any higher. Here are some of those updated stats. And a common theme we've said all day. It's evenly fought. And the numbers bear that story as well. But it felt like these offenses started to make some successes towards the end of the second half and put on some pressure to both keepers, Zach Ayler for Randolph and Justin Ennis for Lynchburg.
They did, and I thought Lynchburg was doing a really good job of just connecting those quick passes like we said throughout the game. When they go 1, 2, 3, that third one they're in, they've been tough to handle. Keep that up.
And now we're in a spot where we're playing 90-plus minutes, and this game's going to be decided by, say, a 20-second window. And that's the beauty of the sport.
Yep.
Both sides out onto the pitch. Lynchburg looking for their first ODAC title since 2016. Randolph looking for their first since 2011 and second overall. Randolph began the year unbeaten in their first 13. Ended the regular season with a win. Shut out Roanoke in the quarterfinals. Upset the number 1 team in the country, Washington Lee, 3-2 in the semis. Lynchburg, winners of 9 in a row, looking to make it 10 consecutive. And I can't believe I haven't mentioned this. How about this nugget? 7 shutouts over the last 12 matches played. No easy task to accomplish, and they're in a situation to add one more to it. It's Bohr sending it towards Ennis, the senior there to make the stop.
You got Ennis getting just quickly to the top of his box. See if there's anybody free that he can play it too quick and go on to goal there. He's able to keep it, and we're building from the back now.
Sent towards midfield, headed down by Bohr. Then skied by Foley. Averett settles, has Liam Lovell trying to get past Colby Lambert. Loses control. Lambert looking long. Foley there to defend. They'll stop the clock, 8:48 left in the first potentially 2 overtime periods. And our referee talking to Carter Averett. And it looks like his left knee might be a tad bloodied. Obviously, that becomes a health concern, so athletic trainer Bryce Wallen out to save the day.
Yeah.
Proving not all heroes wear capes.
Tape him up so don't have to do that again.
Especially with a player as impactful as Carter Averett. Third team all-conference last year and plays that holding mid spot. Able to check back in. Aaron sends it to the far side. Kyle May looking for Evan Blow. Off the head of Phillips. Settled for a moment by John. Ennis tries to keep it in and does. Wow.
Not willing to give up the corner, which is fantastic. I mean, anything at this point around the box is dangerous because of the way the rules are for overtime.
These two teams have been so evenly fought that an inch feels like a mile, and Ennis keeping it in and avoiding the corner could have some big ramifications on how the rest of this match plays out. Vega trying to get away from Brown. Retreats all the way back to midfield. Foley has some space in front of him. Rolls it to Lovell. Kearns ahead for Shalita. Pops it up. It goes well out of play.
Yeah, that would have been tough to do much with.
So Zach Ayler starts the possession for the Wildcats. Ayler ended regulation. 5 saves on the 5 shots on goal he faced. Justin Ennis on the other side. Where we stand right now, 2 saves on the day. Foley takes the contact from Bohr. Picked up by Carney. Out wide. Bohr in front of Daly. Tries to nutmeg the senior. The loose ball is gathered by Kearns. Off the head of Brandon John. Averett tries to swing it over to Robles. Leveroni to John. Carney for Evan Blow inside the 18. 3 Hornet defenders collapse. And Daly shoots it back to midfield.
Yeah, it'd have been tough to turn into that many players and actually get something off.
Kearns reads the pass, creates the turnover. He and Parker Aaron both go for the slide and collide with one another. Whistle on the play. It'll go against Randolph. Lovell tries to play it quick.
It was like a double slide, and what he got called for was the handball.
In years of calling soccer, I can't say I've seen something quite like that.
That was interesting.
Not quite how you draw it up, to say
No.
the least. Mega trying to get past Brown, hits the turf. Lambert gets it out of the box.
No, and it's going to be somewhat harder to get a PK right now.
Counter that to when he got one in the 23rd minute against Virginia Wesleyan and converted to open the scoring against the Marlins in the semis.
Stakes are too high. Like, it's got to be pretty clear.
So instead, Kearns will throw in. And it plays as a corner of sorts. This is normally Brennan Lagana's role. Instead, it makes it through all the traffic. Robles trying to play it off the body of Noah Carney, but nicely done by the junior. Able to send it to midfield. Evan Blow possessed for a second for the Wildcats, taken away then by Lynchburg. Halfway through the first overtime period. Daly connects with Lovell. Lambert on Lovell's backside. Junior couldn't control it. So a goal kick coming for Zach Ayler. We'll have a substitution as Isaac Carney is going to check in for Tucker Leveroni.
Yeah, they're trying to play for a corner there and just slipped away. It happens. Got it back again, though.
It's a low goal kick there from Ayler. First time we've seen something like that. Good ball forward. Noah Carney goes through Dale. Now tries to cross. Foley gets it ahead to Robles.
I thought I heard a whistle. I don't know if you heard that.
Feels like I've heard just about anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, with it being a crosstown rivalry in the championship game, a lot of fans in attendance. We've heard bells, cheering, boos, a motley of different chants, you name it. The fans have brought it forward today. Another throw in for Kearns.
I couldn't find him. I was trying to figure out what was happening. He's
like,
right there in the fan.
No,
seriously.
Fans.
So I wasn't saying anything. I was like, where is he?
Headed right back out to Kearns. They'll let it go out along the sideline. Carl Machnich is going to check in for Liam Lovell. One junior on for another. Makinich, 15 games played on the year now. Had a goal in the regular season finale against Bridgewater. Kearns over the head of Phillips, immediately headed back out by Randolph. Makinich gets his right foot on it. Foley swings over to Mega, who takes the shot and misses wide left.
That was close.
The ability for Mega to take that shot was impressive in itself.
Yeah.
And if that went home.
Keeper was kind of right there. Everything about that was hard, but he got it off.
Would have been a miraculous score for Luke Mega, but he's done it multiple occasions this year where he makes your jaw drop to the floor. John sends it towards Ennis, who steps up and cuts off the pass intended for Blow. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first overtime. Kyle May, I beg your pardon, the first one to it.
Almost a handball, really. But he's facing away, so you can't see the call.
Kearns absorbs the pressure. Brandon John, the guilty party.
Yeah, and he's got his arm, and that getting pulled down, that's going to happen. Pulled down and kind of kicked at the same time.
And with 60 seconds to go, Ennis.
Important kick right here.
Look to use the booming right leg. Looks like it went off the head of Colby Lambert. Throw in for Lynchburg.
Now they're giving it to Randolph.
I beg your pardon, last touch by a Hornet.
That's interesting call there. I was ready for a Hornet throw as well.
Certainly close. Daly takes it away and sends it towards Wade Hall. Heads it forward for Noah Carney.
That wasn't a bad idea. He was looking to play kind of a long diagonal.
Ahead for Bohr. But maybe a foot out in front of the oncoming rush. Justin Ennis, the first player to it. And punts it out as the final seconds of our first overtime period tick away. 100 minutes, not enough. We want more between Lynchburg and Randolph, and we've got it coming to you after we step aside and come back with the second overtime period between the Hornets and the Wildcats here on LHSN.
If you want to know your customers, shop where they shop. Live where they live. And spend time with them as neighbors. With over 100 local offices, Virginia Farm Bureau agents are part of your community. If you want insurance from a company that knows you, get to know us.
Field turf was built on innovation, dating back to our invention of long-piled infield turf, which revolutionized the industry. Today, we offer a series of game-changing fibers, high-performance infills, sport-specific applications, and smart field technology. Field turf. Let's change the game together.
Get small classes, nationally recognized mentoring and advising, and a community that has your back every step of the way at the University of Lynchburg.
This is where we left you at the end of the first overtime period. It was a good ball forward intended for Bohr. Ennis was able to get to the long pass just in front of the oncoming rush. That was in the final seconds of that first overtime period. Now we're set for OT number 2. Looking for not only a victor, but a conference champion, as we are up and over 100 minutes played between these crosstown rivals. And if we make it through another 10 minutes without a score, we'll have penalty kicks.
Even on shots again, 13-13.
And the corners number has started to even out too, 5-4 advantage.
They did.
Slightly in the favor of Randolph. This match has been everything it was advertised to be and then some. Head coach Chris Yeager looking for his first conference title since 2016, 8th overall. On the other side, head coach Adam Godwin looking for his first ODAC title. It'd be the second ever in Randolph's program history. And even more big picture, winner of this goes to the NCAA tournament. They'll be playing next Friday. So not just playing for the hardware, looking to continue your season as well.
Now it's dig deep time. 10 minutes for your season.
And this is such a tough task to come forward with, and we have to acknowledge how difficult it is for someone like Wade Hall, or on the other side, Griffin Phillips and Nick Foley have not left the match. They played all 100-plus minutes. And if we make it through second overtime, they will have played all 110. Early possession is with Lynchburg. Kearns will throw in on the far sideline just in front of Hornets fans on Dr. Jack Tom's track. Kearns has been all over the pitch today. And a lot of different things for Coach Yeager. Long throw goes to Phillips. Headed back out by Lovell. Last touch by Colby Lambert. Kearns will do it again. You can see Kearns working back. This is going to be a mighty crow hop. Again, sent towards Phillips. Ayler came out between the net. Now he's back where he began the play, and it looked like a handball, and it was! Brandon John had it go off the wrist.
Wow. Oh.
Full follow through with the right hand.
I mean, if he doesn't swing kind of in that way, he might get away with that, but just the action of it, you got to call it.
The potential game winner. It'll rest at the foot of Luke Mega. Looking for goal number 13 of the season and looking to send Lynchburg to the NCAA tournament. He'll go one-on-one with Zach Ayler. The senior looking to keep his playing career alive with one more save. So far, he's got 5 on the afternoon. Mega readies. And converts! Lynchburg is going dancing. 13th on the year for Mega, and none more important than this. Final score, Lynchburg 1, Randolph 0. 8th conference title for Coach Chris Yeager. And the Hornets will play next week in the NCAA tournament. And on the other side, the season comes to a close, or maybe not for Randolph. There is still hope for the at-large bid. The ODAC is a very competitive D3 conference, of course. They could be the third team to make it. There's the winner from Mega again. 5 goals throughout this postseason run. A hat trick in the quarters. A PK goal in the semis, and then the game winner in the second overtime period of the championship game. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and that has certainly been the case for Luke Mega all postseason.
Yeah, I mean, you put your number one guy on that PK, and he comes through, and you punch your ticket to the tournament.
Back to Randolph, an unfortunate end of the game as it's a handball going against Brandon John that gives way to the PK that Mega converts and gives Lynchburg the ODAC title. But overall, really talented Randolph team. And again, there's the chance for the at-large bid, but even if this is the end of the season, this is a Randolph team that's going to continue to be a force inside the ODAC.
Absolutely. I mean, they have great momentum going for themselves, and they should be proud of what they've done in the season. Fantastic season, and who knows? Maybe they get one of those bids and they keep going.
And if it is the last game of the season for Randolph, it's the last of the career for Evan Blow, and what a talented player he is. 18 goals this season, reigning ODAC Player of the Year and VA SID College Division Player of the Year, and he's got an argument to be right back in that conversation this year. And then the load shifts towards Noah Carney. The junior will be a senior next season. It's going to be a fun team to watch down the line, but it's Lynchburg coming out on top as your ODAC Men's Soccer Conference champions. That's going to do it for us from Schellenberger Field. For my broadcast partner, Matt Newton, my director, Sam Rice, and the rest of our fantastic LHSN broadcast crew, my name's TJ Wingert. And until next time, we are signing off.